Good morning, everyone. So thank you, Leanne, for this beautiful event. It's so lovely to always be here. And yeah, welcome to you all. So as she said, I am a dietitian and I work at Zuid-Afrikaans Hospital. Unfortunately, we don't have any gynaes there, no maternity ward. I'm actually based there with a bariatric center where we do weight loss surgery. I've been doing bariatric surgery and dietetics for about 10 years, and it's a very interesting field, and that together with my own fertility struggles actually got me interested in this field, but I'll tell you more just now. So yes, who am I? I'm firstly a dietitian, but I'm also IVF warrior, and I've had IVF several times. I've also failed, I've had miscarriages, but I'm not here to talk about my journey. I am now here to support you. So I don't know if you've heard about fertility nutrition, but it is an emerging field of nutrition, very exciting field of nutrition, and there's so much that diet and lifestyle can do to help boost your chances when you are trying to conceive. So nutrition can help treat PCOS, it can help with insulin resistance, we can optimize weight gain or weight loss, we can reduce inflammation, we can reduce the chances of the endometriosis regrowth, and there are certain cases of recurrent miscarriage where we need to look through a nutritional lens, and that can actually play a role if we're changing some of the diet and the supplementation. We can correct micronutrient deficiencies, and then also very exciting, we can optimize the ovulation, we can help with the egg health and the sperm health, we can help with implantation, and then also the health of your future baby. I don't have that slide today, but I do want to mention that to you. There was a very interesting research study done many years ago on these agouti mice. They lab mice, and they obese mice, and they blonde, and they give offspring that looks very similar to them. So what they did is they actually experimented on these mice, and they changed their diet completely. Included more folic acid, B12, choline. And suddenly they gave offspring to these beautiful lean brown mice with better longevity, less chances of cancer, obesity, and that is just an amazing study. So I just wanted to share that. So it's not about just fertility nutrition, but then also nutrition during pregnancy. Alright, so nutrition is obviously amazing, and I'm very passionate about nutrition, but we need to work with your team. And in my practice, I work with your doctors and with your team because there's so many things nutrition can obviously not fix. I've listed a few of them there, there are obviously much more of them. So that would be blocked fallopian tubes, pelvic adhesions, structural problems of the uterus like the polyps that's been mentioned. For the males, premature ejaculation, if there's absolutely no sperm also, if there is a blockage, absence of tubes, or someone's had a vasectomy. Alright, so let's prepare you to conceive. Let's support your body. How much time do you need? Alright, so I often meet patients while they're already in their IVF journey, and because it's taken such a long time for them to get to that point, everyone is in a hurry. And we heard today also, you know, the biological clock is ticking. Right, but we do need a little bit of time. So eggs take about 3 months to go through their final stages of maturation. But sometimes we would need a little bit longer if we are treating chronic conditions. Think of things like insulin resistance, diabetes, maybe autoimmune diseases, bleeding disorders, things that just needs to go through the medical team and the physician also to help to get that under control. For the male, like you heard, we produce the sperm every day. They take about 74 days to mature. So let's say roughly also about 3 months to, if there's problems on the sperm, to try and optimize that. But sometimes that can also take longer because some of the research studies have shown that sometimes when you make these lifestyle changes, it would take 6 months or longer in certain cases. Alright, so just bear that in mind. Alright, so here I've talked about metabolic health, but we can talk about overall health And often in my talks, I talk about signs of health. So often when someone comes to a dietitian, we would say, okay, sign of health would be like, what's my weight? What's that number on the scale? But just think a little bit. There are so many more signs of health. Let's just think of things like, can I see well? What's my hair like? Am I having hair loss? How's my skin? Do I have any gut issues? Do I have constipation, diarrhea, heartburn? How is my mindset? Do I have depression? So there are so many signs of health. So don't just think about it being the number on the scale. We'll talk about the number on the scale a little bit later also. Alright, so we want to do our health checks. We want to make sure that we are diagnosing conditions that maybe haven't been diagnosed and treated. And we want to get those under control before you fall pregnant, preferably. And then also, if there's insulin resistance, we can start treating that so long. Inflammation, we want to try and just get that inflammation down with a specific diet. I'll talk about that just now. Thyroid function, so maybe you have an overactive thyroid or an underactive thyroid, so we want to get that under control. And then also micronutrient deficiencies. Alright, so let's talk about weight. So unfortunately, when we are trying to conceive, weight does play a role. If we are overweight or underweight, it has to do with the fat percentage. So unfortunately, fat percentage can influence the hormone profile. Now the good news is you don't have to be at your ideal body weight to be able to conceive. So often just like a 5 to 10% change can make a major difference with boosting your chances to conceive. So that's really great news. So it's really important, and that's a big message I want to give today. There are many fertility dietitians emerging. So try and work with one that's going to change your diet in a way that we're not damaging the egg quality. So unfortunately, if we go on a very strict diet, it is damaging towards the egg quality. So we do want to preserve that as much as possible. And then I don't know if any of you've been on weight loss drugs, those injectables, they're very popular these days. So they can be quite successful, but it is recommended that you wait about 3 months after you've been on those to just get your hormones to stabilize, your weight to be stabilized before you try and conceive. And then also, because this is my background, if you've had weight loss surgery, we recommend that you wait about 12 to 18 months before you try and conceive. Many reasons for that, but hormone profile is important, weight needs to be stabilized. It's just a safer pregnancy if we wait, and those patients in the first year, they've got big problems with micronutrient deficiencies. So, your team wants you to make lifestyle changes. Alright, you'll hear it over and over today. So it is really an important part of your journey, because lifestyle changes can reduce oxidative stress and inflammation in the body. So things like excessive alcohol use. So try and reduce your alcohol as much as possible or abstain. Same with smoking, any type of smoking. Also ages, it's called advanced glycation. In products, it's when we cook food at a really high temperature so that it starts to brown. If all our food or most of the food that we're eating looks like that, it can influence our health and also our fertility. So for example, cooking food at a lower temperature for a longer time is going to be helpful. Alright, then in terms of inflammation, I like explaining it like this. Imagine there's a small little fire in your body and you're not really sick, but something's just not quite right. So your lifestyle can either add fuel to that fire and then it becomes a runaway fire, or you can put lifestyle things in place that is going to have these new little grass grow, and we're actually going to reduce the inflammation. So for fertility, we do know that excessive sugar in your diet, unhealthy fats, and then also processed meats can add fuel to that fire. So those are things we really need to be careful of. Your team wants you to be physically active. You don't have to be an athlete, but physical activity is really good. You know, there was a research study actually saying if we're very still during the day, if we don't move a lot, so let's say you're in the car or you're in front of your desk most of the day, it can be as bad as smoking for your health. All right, so movement. So one of the tips I often give is, instead of sitting still the whole day, when your phone rings, just stand up, take the call, move around where you're taking the call, and you go sit down again. Alright, so for men, this is not my area of expertise in terms of recommendations, but you do know, just to keep the heat away from the groin area. Alright, and then we don't want to slap a supplement onto an unhealthy lifestyle. Alright, so if you're going to use a supplement, make those lifestyle changes also. Make those dietary changes also, because that is when the magic is going to happen. So, when we are preparing our bodies for conceiving, we want to support our egg health and our sperm health as much as possible. So, like I said earlier, the eggs takes about 3 months for maturing before you ovulate. So we really want to make sure those are a good 3 months. And then the same with the sperm. So we want to look for a lot of antioxidants in the diet. And like I said, not just slapping a supplement onto everything that you're doing. We want to follow a food-first approach. So there are many nutrients in the diet that we can add on. So when I sit with a client, I would talk about your current lifestyle. Are you eating away from home? Are you buying something at work during the day? Do you eat with the family? And then we try and put together a tailored plan for you. Omega-3s, that's quite an interesting example when we look at food-first approach. So, yes, you can take a daily omega-3 supplement, but you also get great omega-3s if you eat dark pink fish twice a week. So that's a nice example of a food-first approach. So, eggs don't like unstable sugar levels, same with the sperm and insulin resistance, and we want the fat percentage to be optimal. And we want to fix those nutritional deficiencies. So just something about nutritional deficiencies, anyone can have a nutritional deficiency, but it's more likely if you may be allergic to some foods, or maybe you've got some food intolerances, or maybe you just follow a really restrictive diet, so maybe there are certain food groups that you've excluded completely. Alright, so we need to check for those. And then if you are going to supplement, let's follow a tailored approach. Alright, we're not going to take a long list of supplements. That's unnecessary, because also talking about nutrient deficiencies, if we just have a lot of, let's say, zinc, for example, that we're supplementing, we can cause other problems. For example, iron deficiency, copper deficiency. Alright, so let's follow a tailored approach. Speak to your team about that. Alright, so in my practice, when I'm working with fertility clients, I've now coined it my Nourish and Glow method. So to really optimize your chances, there are 7 steps that we're going to work through to really improve your diet and your lifestyle. And those would be dietary changes that's going to help with egg health. So that's why it says it only takes 1, so let's make it excellent. Micronutrients, those are the building blocks for conception. Just to check, are you getting those in your diet? If you're not getting those, then obviously we want to supplement. Creating safe, on-time and cozy transplantation, that's for the sperm. And then to reduce the chemicals and to reduce the heavy metals in your diet, but then also in your environment. And then to breathe, relax, okay? To move and to sleep well. Alright, so that's about mental health, it's about physical activity. How's your sleeping pattern looking? Have you reached out to a therapist to assist you on this journey? Alright, so I've got a little gift for everyone. So on your table you would have received my pamphlet. I want to send this little gift to you. It is a lifestyle and nutritional checklist, and also a little shopping list. But I need your email address. So my contact number is on there, or you can scan the QR code. Just send me your email address, and I'm going to send that to you. And yeah, that is all from my side. I hope it's been helpful, and let's go create some